What's up and good morning, everyone. It is early on a Sunday morning. We are now into August. It is hot. I live in Florida, which is zone 9. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Aisha, otherwise known as Miss Champagne, and I'm just going to show you guys what's going on in my garden. Some stuff is dying back. I've started some seeds, some garden mistakes, and yeah, so let's get into it. All right, so I always like to start off on my patio, give you an update on my lemon trees. This is my Eureka lemon. Puts on blossoms every couple of months, but so far all of the fruit have fallen off, which is okay. I haven't had it quite a year yet, so it's still young. As long as it's putting on new growth, I'm happy with that. This is my Myers lemon. I've had this for about a year and a half, and it has nice sized lemons on it. Just waiting on them to get a little bigger and turn yellow. This is my Barbados cherry. It did fruit in the spring. It's blossoming again, so usually if it's too hot they just kind of fall off and don't do anything, so we'll see. It's August, so I doubt it produces anything right now. And then this is what I'm assuming is a raspberry bush. It didn't come in this pot, it came as a bare root as a gift when I ordered my bare root strawberries, which are all under here in my shade area that I made. I kept them in pots. There's about 20 of them, and now that they're getting good and healthy, I'll probably transplant them into my green stalk planter. All right, speaking of green stalk, here she is. I only have 2 tiers up, the rest are right there. I didn't see a point of getting it started when I wasn't ready to plant. So I do have it covered. It has been getting attacked. I have amaranth in here. I had my Jamaican sorrel, which is over here. This was my mustard spinach. Show you guys how it got ate up so you guys can see, which is why I'm covering it now. It has been getting attacked and I feel like I'm not going to get a chance to enjoy it. So I have that covered up. I did throw some purple kale and some heat wave lettuce. I'll throw that in here. I do have some lettuce in the house. I'm just waiting on it to cool off because it's a little bit bigger and it'll bolt if I put it outside. And back there is my pineapple top, if you guys can see it. I twisted off the top to a pineapple I was eating. It has nice new green growth in the middle. So I had it sitting in a jar for about 2 weeks until it had roots, and then I planted it a couple days ago. My chocolate mint has taken over. I just watered it, so everything's kind of leaning to the side. And then I have my cilantro and my lemon thyme in there as well. It is getting a little warm, so my cilantro is starting to go to seed. Just so you guys know what that looks like. It has little flowers. And then when this is done, it turns into coriander, which is a spice. So I'm actually going to let it go all the way to seed. And this is my Italian oregano, rosemary, flat leaf parsley, and some purple basil. More rosemary down here. This is some Texas hummingbird mint. This is a fern that volunteered in my strawberry planter. These are going to be moved. I tried strawberries in here last year, and the ones that were on the sides in these little holes all died. So only these 2 at the top are still here. This was my bush beans. They are coming to their end. I'm trying to Saved the little seed pods. This was my Royal Burgundy, and that was I think a Slenderette or either a Dwarf Tailor. And that's just a volunteer weed that I haven't pulled for some reason. These were my Kentucky Wonder pole beans. They have gotten so big, they're starting to die off. I'm letting the last few pods on here dry up so I can harvest the seeds. There's one there. I do like this variety, but I do know that when they get a little big or too big, they get stringy, and I don't really like the string bean part. So next year I'll know to harvest these when they're smaller. And then my volunteer yellow pear tomato, still hanging in there. I've pruned back a lot of the bottom branches, so the new growth looks nice and green. My pole beans have attached to my tomatoes. Down there are my sweet potatoes. They are just doing their thing over here. And guys, look at this marigold. Do they get this big? You know, the ones in the store are like 12 inches, maybe 18 inches high. I don't know if it's because it was kind of in the shade and it's trying to reach the light. I also put straight compost in this bed. It was compost and a little bit of soil. And I didn't know that marigolds get this big. But no blossoms, just straight green growth. So there's probably a lot of nitrogen in this bed, which makes sense because I compost in place as well. Just broke off some kale leaves. This is my dino kale, still hanging in from last year. I don't eat them in the summer. They get really bitter, the last batch. So I just literally break them off and then leave them here to compost. And that is a sunflower seed that I forgot I planted in here. And that's another volunteer sweet potato. This was my sweet potato bed last year. The collards that were in here just kind of died off, as you can see. They're not making it. The bugs are taking them out. All right. Pepper bed. I have a purple pepper. I don't know if it's sweet or hot. I guess I'll have to wait till it gets a little bigger and I'll taste it and let you guys know. This is my candy cane pepper, my green bell pepper. I have my yellow bell pepper back there with one turning. I have my red bell pepper in the middle with one turning. And then my orange bell pepper is back there. It did have one on it, but it kind of like rotted. I think it's too wet. So I clipped it and threw it in my compost bin. This is my basil. These are the cow peas that I planted. I don't know if I'll interplant them again. They're nitrogen fixers, so they put a lot of nitrogen in your garden beds, which is a good thing. However, they have brought ants, like big ants, big reddish brown ants into my raised beds. And they're only on the bean plants or the cowpea plants. They're not on my peppers. They're only on these bean plants, which, look at this situation here. I only planted 3. And they took over. I thought that they were going to be like nice and small, only produce like one little stalk, but they have 1,000 side stalks, and they have taken over this entire bed. Like my tomato is still buried in there. My sage is coming back. It got a little hot, so it dried out a little bit, but it's bouncing back. Some oregano back here doing well. It's loving the shade that it's getting. But guys, I can't even remember what all was planted over here. And because of the cowpeas, This bed has a ton of the big ants in it. Again, and they're only crawling on the cowpeas and nothing else. So, I don't know. There's my pineapple tomatillo back there. She's doing well. Hopefully I'll be able to get to her without getting attacked by ants. But she's got a bunch of little pods on her. So, can't wait to see what she tastes like. And garden mistake. So, I talked about this garden bed design before. It's made 4 corners. However, anything that you plant in that back corner bed, you like can't get to. Meaning, I have tons of tomatoes back there that I can't get to without stepping on my other stuff. I have a nice serrano pepper. Look how bright red that is. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's so beautiful. Look at that. They're getting so big. And I have what I thought was a jalapeno plant that I planted, and it's actually looking like a bell pepper. So that was interesting. And that is my jalapeno pepper plant back there. That was my Candyland tomato. It's pretty hot for the tomatoes to be producing, so most of their flowers kind of just fall off. But my cherry tomato back there is doing well, and I can't get to them. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure something out. But I need my tomatoes. Moving on. This was my little butterfly patch that I created. I have some echinacea, cone flowers. They're so pretty. This was my red pepper, or sweet heat red pepper. These were some sunflowers that were spent. My banana peppers, I have a few on there to harvest this morning. My milkweed, I think that's a petunia, the purple one. I can never remember the name of it. And then my other milkweed back there, which is thriving next to my Kent mango. Or is that a Glen mango? That's my Glen mango. And then into my raised, my container garden here, I have some zinnias, which have started to flower, which is really pretty. That one looks like it's going to be orange. They're so pretty. I'm so happy they flowered. And then this is a pigeon pea. I yanked the seed pod off of my neighbor's tree. It was hanging over my side of the fence, and I planted it. They're also nitrogen fixers. And then this is my candle fire okra. Finally starting to develop. It's doing okay in here. I do fertilize this grow bag like once a week, because I know that okra and the zinnias are kind of heavy feeders. So, and a Cosmo. Look how big and bushy. No flowers yet. The last of my little comfreys starting to die off. And then here is my passion fruit vine. All of my flowers, I'm guessing that they're not getting pollinated at night. When it opens, are falling off. So no passion fruit yet. But the plant is still growing and doing its thing. My dragon fruit cacti are doing well. I've got new growth there. And let's see, I've got new growth there. That one down there. These are yellow and red varieties. I got them from a friend when they were little, so I don't know the exact name. And then these were the first cowpeas that I planted. So this is how big I thought they were going to get. Just this height right here. It was 4 in this grow bag. I've been harvesting. They're doing well. And I just started to see a few ants over here. Originally, there were no ants anywhere. There's my Armenian cucumber that has made its way all the way over here from this bag. And there is my Armenian cucumber. She has struggled. The pests have been at her non-stop. They usually do well in the heat, so it's not the heat that's killing her, it is the pest. She does have one little baby fruit on her, but as you can see, those little brown or black dots are caterpillar poop. So there's caterpillars on here somewhere, and they will just demolish like the new growth and just kill it off. But she's trying. She keeps producing little side shoots. So I don't know if she'll make it or not. But anywho, alongside of her, in this raised bed behind it, is the Chinese red long noodle beans and a little lizard. They are also growing up this ladder trellis along with the cucumber. Behind it is some collard greens. So this is my next little raised bed area. I have this chair here to kind of provide some shade to my other collard, which is doing okay. It hasn't been demolished too bad by pests. And these are some more of the Chinese red long noodle beans growing. That's a sunflower. These are some more sunflowers. I did plant some garlic and onions around the, garlic around the collards, and I planted some sugar peas in between the sunflower stalks. Those are supposed to be the mammoths, but we'll see. And then I planted some onions and garlic over here. This is a dwarf sunflower, another dwarf sunflower. And then I have in this bed, that was just a cucumber vine that I pulled off to feed the little bugs in here so that they don't eat my seedlings. I planted some zucchini. I planted 2 of them. This is my moringa. Those are some black beans, just 2 to help fix some nitrogen in here. And then I planted some beets. And then over here is my other moringa. I planted some collard greens and some cabbage in this one. I'm just gonna fix this. There we go. So hopefully as those grow, they will stay covered and protected and don't get attacked. And these were my rose, what was this? Lavender that died off. So I don't think they liked this container, or maybe it was the heat, or a combination of both. I don't know. But that's this area here. This is the next project, putting some cardboard down. I think I want to do just an in-ground garden. So just put some compost and some garden soil down and just garden over this area. And then I have my raspberry and blackberry. In the ground is my raspberry. She has lots of new growth all the way over here. And then in the container is my blackberry. So those are new. Let's go back to the corner here. My 2 baby papayas. They're a little over a year old. And my Kent mango that I planted from seed, that's a little over a year old. They are doing well in this area back here. They've started to take off now that we're in our rainy season. Look at the nice healthy trunk that I am getting on this seedling. So I am happy. And this was one that I planted from seed. Didn't do anything special. I simply removed it from its little husk, peeled off the little paper that covers it, and just threw it in the dirt. Don't mind my pool area. It looks a mess. My lawn guys literally just have been riding over the tarp and it just shreds it into pieces. So now it's all over my yard. Anyhow, these are my blueberry bushes doing well, making their comeback. They died off a little bit if you've seen my other videos. This was the one that had completely died back. It was all dead branches. I cut them all back. And what you see is all new growth. So I just kept watering it. I didn't give up on it. And it came back and I'm so excited. So these look like they're the same variety. And then this one's a different variety. Some of its leaves fall off when it gets too hot. But as long as I continue to see new growth in the middle, I'm okay with it. I did have a fourth one over here, but that one completely died. But these are doing well. All right, and the sun is all the way up. So the girl is out here melting. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. But yeah, that is it, guys. What's going on in my backyard garden. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you haven't started gardening yet, what are you waiting for? All right, have a blessed day.